22 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. Tomorrow is the 14th anniversary of the attacks on America of September 11th, 2001. And there was a report issued, I believe it was just Tuesday, from Homeland Security. And in the report, it's kind of troubling to see, but then also encouraging to see. The troubling part is that there have been some thwarted or foiled terrorist attacks in this country. They haven't all been foiled. They haven't all been thwarted. There have been some that got through. Of course, nothing to the extent of the attacks of 9/11. From New York, this is from the Homeland Security report. From New York to Sydney, Australia, ISIS has inspired or directed 55 plots against the West. Since September 11, 2001, there have been 122 U.S. terrorist cases involving homegrown violent jihadists, and over 80% of those cases, which included plotted attacks and attempts to join foreign terrorist organizations, have occurred or been disrupted since 2009. A lot of these have been disrupted, including a plot to detonate bombs around New York City, a hatchet attack against police. You might remember that one that was not foiled. A plot to detonate bombs in Queens, New York. A plot to kill U.S. soldiers in Rochester, New York. A plot to behead enforcement officers in Boston. A plot to bomb the federal building in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And it goes on and on and on. This report that we got on Tuesday. The show that preceded this one is one of the shows that we're so proud of here at WLCA, and it is the Veterans Program. And the vets come in here, and it's not a show where they recall all their hardships and all of their contributions. They don't even dwell on that. They're talking about the upcoming fish fry to raise funds for something that they hold near and dear to themselves, etc. Wesley Thomas is on the phone. Wesley is a veteran as well. He served in the U.S. Marines as a member of the 1st Marine Aircraft Wings Contingency Reaction Force, served in Vietnam from 1966 until 1968. He served in the U.S. Marine Reserve's 6th Communications Battalion. He was awarded the Vietnam Service Medal with 3 Bronze Stars, the National Defense Service Medal, the Navy Unit Commendation, the Presidential Unit Citation, and dedicated now to volunteering his time as an advocate for veterans' rights. So it's just perfect alignment today of the two segments, the one before this one and this one. He's on the phone to talk to us on the air about the effects of war and how war changes those involved. Life after post-war, how society can give back to our servicemen and women, and of course the rights of veterans, which it's what we're all about. It's what we've been about for so long. Good morning, Wesley Thomas. Thank you for your service, first of all, and thank you for being on the air with us today.
Oh, yes. Good morning, and thank you very much for having me.
Where are you calling from?
Staten Island, New York, one of the 5 boroughs in New York City.
Yeah. Were you living there on September 11th, 2001?
No, I was living in Queens. I was on my way to work that morning, and when I got to work, I saw everybody standing around, which was kind of unusual. They were listening to the radio coming through the speakers to the ceiling, and we heard that there was a attack on the World Trade Center, which I worked on back in 1970.
Is that right? Television. Oh, wow. What was your job at that time on September 11th, 2001? I
was working at NYU as a food service sanitation employee part-time.
Wow. Well, thank you for, gosh, you've contributed so much to this nation and to all of us. I know we don't want to dwell on the September 11th. That's not what you're on the air to talk about. But real quickly, did you participate in any of the cleanup after that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm asking, we're hearing so many stories now about people who are still dying from. In fact, that lady just died. She was like 20-something years old at the attacks, and but the exposure to those chemicals are wreaking havoc on people's lives even still. So.
Yes. Because they used to spray the building with asbestos on the structure, when they were putting it up and stuff like that. I'd see all this stuff flying around and, covering up the what do you call it, the beams and all that stuff.
Oh, right.
I wasn't really sure what that was, but, I guess that was just the asbestos they were using to cover up
Right.
Games and things.
Whenever, let me just tell this. The show just before this one has been on the air with us for probably 11 years now. And so I've been in every one of them with a few exceptions when I may have not been in the studio, but almost the entire length of the show. I'm not a veteran, by the way, but I've been with these guys a lot. And what always amazes me is when they remember their time in Vietnam, or if we've been lucky enough to have some World War II vets or Korean vets, when they ask when they are asked by the host of that particular show, what do you remember the most about it? They don't remember. They don't talk about anyway the guns. They don't talk about the bombs. They talk about maybe the family that took them in. They talk about maybe the sunrise that they remember seeing one beautiful morning. They'll talk about these beautiful things. And it's just such a peaceful group of people. I think the people who want peace the most in this world are our soldiers.
Yes, that's so true. And one of the reasons why they don't want to talk about it is because a lot of them are in denial, and they don't want to go back there. It's like revisiting all over again.
Yeah.
Because when I started going for PTSD therapy, it brought me back to the time period that I served. And, it brings tears, lump in your throat, tears in your eyes.
Sure.
Because you know what you were like before you went in. You weren't the same person when you came out. And even family members can attest to their veteran family member as being totally different. You shut yourself out.
Right.
You don't have many friends and stuff like that. And it's very detrimental to the veteran, because now they isolate themselves. Some of them isolate themselves from society.
And the expression adding insult to injury, it doesn't apply to any group of people more than it does to you Vietnam vets. I mean, you were really, truly had given your all, were willing to give your all, and then you come back and it's insults. I mean, literal insults, not a figurative use of that word. I mean, you literally were being insulted by the people who, not everybody obviously, but enough of this country that made. I'm sure you had this horrible experience coming back after doing something that you were answering your call to duty.
Yeah, I felt that way because when they had that parade, I think it was in the 80s, the Welcome Home Veterans Parade down Manhattan's Wall of Heroes, I marched in that parade, but I felt like I wasn't there.
Oh, wow.
And a multitude of other veterans that felt the same way, and still really didn't get any real recognition, because a lot of vets, file VA claims and they're denied. They got to come up with all kinds of documentation and evidence, and they just get turned off. They don't want to even be bothered. Say, yeah, well, I was denied so many times and whatnot. I'll just throw in the towel. I'll just give up on it. And I was like one of those people. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to join no American Legion or no DAV or any of those things. I didn't want to have anything to do with parades. Holiday celebrations and stuff like that. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to be around crowds and people, noise. It just bothered me.
I saw a veteran. I think he was a Marine. I might have the service wrong, but anyway, he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and he was shot 5 times. His brother was killed in Afghanistan. And after his brother died, he decided he was going to try to do something to honor his brother. So what he did was he joined one of the whichever branch. I think it was the Marines. And while over there, he got shot 5 times and had 2 years of therapy before he could walk again. But the remarkable part of this visit with Ellen DeGeneres was he was just the best attitude you could possibly have. He wasn't feeling sorry for himself. He was bubbly. He was talking. He had a hard time walking. He did walk up onto the stage, but it wasn't easy for him. And I don't know. It's kind of what we see all the time, every Thursday when we have the Vet Show, and now we're hearing it from you, Westley. Yes.
Yeah, it was rough times. That's why I do what I do. I help veterans. I don't work at the VA or anything. I do this freelance. I do it for my home. I meet vets. I ask them, I said, are you taking advantage of any of the VA benefits that you're entitled to?
Right.
They say, oh, yeah, well, I used the GI Bill to go to school. Fine. I used the GI Bill to go to school because that's all that I knew. I didn't know of anything else of compensation or being helped or going to get treatment and stuff like that. That stuff wasn't offered to me. Nobody brought it up to me. So, I wasn't aware. I become aware of it in 2000 because I just happened to go to a health fair in Grand Central Terminal one morning, and they had tables set up from civilian organizations and VA. So I went over to the VA table. The lady that was there, she said, "Are you a veteran?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Are you taking advantage of the free VA health care, at the medical center?" I said, "I know I was entitled to that, even though I was employed and I was working." So I showed her my letter of appreciation that I received in April of 1967 from the Commanding General, L.B. Robershaw, and she says, "Are you getting any help for this?" I said, "What kind?" I said, "I don't know anything about getting any help." She said, "This is a stressor letter. I'm going to refer you to the Manhattan Vet Center to get help. This is PTSD, but I cannot tell you that you have PTSD. You have to be diagnosed by a psychiatrist or a psychologist, stating to the effect that based on the veteran's service military conditions, serving in Vietnam, he now suffers with post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of anxiety and depression and all the other stuff that went along with that."
Wow.
I'm going to kind of ask you some questions about that because I've heard so much about that. So can we hang on? We have a little commercial break. You have to listen to the weather and a few things, and then we'll be back. Wesley Thomas, it's an honor to have you on our show. If you can hang on, I'd love to chat with you some more. We'll take a little break and be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny today with a shower or thunderstorm in spots this afternoon. The high today 89 to 93. Partly cloudy tonight, though 73 to 77. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm around mainly during the afternoon hours over the interior. The high tomorrow 88 to 92. And for Saturday, intervals of clouds and sun along with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. The high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. Summer's almost over and fall's just around the corner. It's time to get that new look started. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. Humidity is not your hair's friend. It causes your hair to capture moisture and leaves it looking dry and unhealthy. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. And whether you're going on a job interview or out on a date, your hands do a lot of talking. Manicures are a must. Hello Gorgeous is a full-service salon, so let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater.
Hello, gorgeous.
Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective, friendly staff to provide you with the quality care you deserve. Call 352-237-8400 for an appointment or more information. That number again is 352-237-8400. Looking forward to service your vision needs.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then, I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
All right, 7 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. There was a story yesterday on the news, and I know there's lots of these kinds of stories, but there was a story on the news about a woman, and you could only see her eyes. She had the clothing where her whole body is concealed except for her face. I know there's a name for that. What is it called, Robin? What do you call that clothing?
Oh, burqas.
Burqas.
Yeah.
And she had been a sex slave of somebody from ISIS or something like that. So when you think about the fact that you can walk freely in this country, you can wear whatever you want to wear in this country, you can practice whatever religion you want to practice, etc., and there's not somebody who's going to stop you from being able to do that. The one group of people you have to thank for that are the veterans. That's it. When you say thank you to a veteran, you're thanking them for your freedoms. It's not just a gesture. I mean, it's a true thing. If you did not have the men and women who have been willing to put themselves on the line like Westley Thomas did, you would not have these freedoms. And you know it. It's throughout history. You've seen it over and over and over again. Westley Thomas is on the phone. I want to have him explain a little bit about what happened on April 22nd. No, I guess that's when he got the letter. On December 24th, 1966, there's something I want to ask him about. But real quick, I want to tell you this. His military service awards include, and I mentioned some of these before, Presidential Unit Citation, a Navy Unit Commendation, a Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, a National Defense Service Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal with 3 Bronze Stars, and a Vietnam Campaign Medal with a 60 device. I don't know what that is. He also, Thomas has earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in Dramatic Arts from the College of Staten Island, and he's writing. I think he's an author. Wesley, are you an author as well?
Yes, I am.
What book have you written? I don't have a title here.
A Hard Decision.
Oh, okay. And that's probably why you're on right now, is to talk about that book, right?
Yes, and as we're talking, I have tears in my eyes.
Oh my goodness. And when did A Hard Decision come out?
It came out May 13th, around 2013.
Oh, okay. And is it what is it? Is it a memoir of yours?
It's a true to life fiction story based on Vietnam and a young couple getting married after high school, and the husband goes off to war, and their lives are disrupted and torn apart. And many years later, she remarries, and she's trying to go on with her life, but I don't want to give all the details.
Right. Do you know what? Go ahead.
As I was writing the story, I was putting myself in situations as these characters who are all affected. It's not just, the husband and the wife. The children, because there's children in the story also. And when a veteran suffers, not only does the veteran suffer, the whole family suffers. And when the family suffers, the community suffers. And when the community suffers, the nation suffers, because a lot of these people that serve are family members of the nation.
Absolutely. I wonder sometimes if some of the problems we're experiencing right now is not because you served, but because we treated you so badly when you came home. I think that a lot of it has to do with that. We had this everybody wants peace. Nobody wants war. But we had this skewed view of what the soldiers were doing back in those days because of a few. You had a few bad apples, and the news media made it seem like everybody was a bad apple. Tell me about, because this is heroic. What I was reading about what you did, December 24th, 1966. Now, this is probably one example of heroism. You were there for 2 years. What happened on that date, on December 24th, Christmas Eve, 1966?
I arrived in Vietnam October 23rd or 24th, 1966. 2 months later, we're like in our hooches down in Da Nang, and some of the guys come running in, and it was like during the monsoon, it was raining, and the guys said, so we said, where are you going? They said, they told us to come in and get our 782, get our weapons, and come out and pull out and get on the trucks. So nobody was telling us anything, so we said, well, hell, if they're gone, we might as well get our stuff and go out and get on the trucks. We didn't know where we were going. They trucked us to Quang Nang, Providence, somewhere in South Vietnam, in the Da Nang area. We went out there. It was at night. We didn't know what we were going for until we got there, that we were going there to do a search and rescue to see if we could find any live survivors from a plane crash that had crashed in a populated village, which 120-some people were killed or wounded and stuff like that. And I didn't think anything of it because a lot of us were doing what we were supposed to do.
Right.
So here it is, April of 1967. We have a formation, and all of us that was in that particular event were in formation, and all of a sudden I get called up by one of the military personnel to come up, and I go up, and I don't know what I was going up there for, and the general handed me this letter, and was thanking me for what I did, and I'm saying to myself, like, why am I the only one getting this letter? When these other Marines that are standing next to me in formation were doing the same exact thing. I found out later on, to some that I had just reconnected with almost 50 years ago, that they received theirs through inter-office mail many years later.
Oh, wow.
And then now some of these additional ribbons and awards weren't even noted on my original 1969 DD-214. Like the Presidential Unit Citation, that wasn't noted,
right.
And neither was the presidential.
Wow. Do you have another, Wesley, do you have another interview, or can we ask you to hang on? I would love to keep talking to you.
Yes, I have plenty of time.
Can you stay with us? Oh, great. We've got to do the top of the hour weather and news and all that. So this will be about a 5-minute break if you want to go get a glass of water or something. But we'll keep you on the line, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Baltimore bracing for the possibility of more violence on day 2 of pretrial hearings in the Freddie Gray case. 6 city police officers charged in his arrest and death.
The judge is considering a change of venue motion. The defense claiming it's impossible to seat a fair jury in Baltimore because of extensive media coverage the case has generated. The hearing comes a day after the city approved a $6.4 million settlement for the family of Freddie Gray. Baltimore's police union calls it obscene.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. There are now new federal food and safety rules out today after deadly outbreaks linked to ice cream, caramel apples, and other foods. And terror-related arrests in Britain hitting a record high.
35 of the suspects were women. That's another record. 8 were children. British officials saying this number tends to fluctuate, spiking after events like 9/11 and other major attacks.
Fox Radio, Simon Owen. Fox News. We report. You decide.
Right now at the Home Depot, save 20% when you buy 1 or more pallets of in-stock GAF shingles. So, let's raise the roof and lower the cost with bulk pricing on top-of-the-line GAF shingles, including Timberline, America's favorite shingle. This is worth shouting from the rooftops. Let's do this. Save 20% on 1 or more pallets of in-stock GAF shingles at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through September 30th, U.S. only. See store for details.
I'm a pair of designer shoes so expensive my owner had to give up half decaf skim vanilla lattes just to afford me. So you can imagine my terror when a pipe burst and the apartment started flooding. There I was, trapped in the closet, water rushing all around me. But what was I to do? I'm a 6-inch stiletto. It's not like I can run.
Your stuff can't protect itself. That's why the Geico Insurance Agency helps make it easy to switch and save on renter's insurance. Renter's insurance will cover personal property loss or damage as well as provide liability protection. Visit geico.com today.
Today in Florida Ag News, I'm a Southeast AgNet. USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service in Florida is working to help producers evaluate the efficiency of their irrigation systems through free irrigation evaluations from a mobile irrigation lab. Ben Krapisky with the Lennon Grove Service in Howey in the Hills, Florida, explains how mobile irrigation labs have benefited his orchard.
One of the best parts about the program is it's free. They've come out and do the surveys for us, and everything is free of charge and anonymous. They're not out there to throw you in water jail. They're not the water police. They're just out there to help you conserve water. It's not uncommon for their recommendations to save us anywhere between 15 and 20% on our water.
Krapisky talks about the positive outcome of saving water.
That saves us diesel fuel on the diesel pumps. That saves us electricity on the electric pumps. Makes us more efficient with our water, fertilizer, just savings across the board, really.
For more information on how NRCS can help Florida producers conserve water, contact your local NRCS office.
Looking for ways to reduce your home's energy use? With new technology, hot water production can be more efficient than ever before. Propane tankless water heaters heat water instantly, whenever it's needed, eliminating wasted energy. And propane is clean burning and efficient, which is better for the environment. Learn more about energy-saving tankless water heaters at propanefl.com. Propane gas. Exceptional living from the exceptional energy. A message from the Florida Propane Gas Safety, Education, and Research Council.
Did you know that when it comes to grocery shopping for beef, convenience continues to be the key? Through Checkoff-funded market research, we know millennials want cooking shortcuts that are efficient and practical. As a result, Your Beef Checkoff is reaching them through their mobile phones with ideas for creativity, efficiency, and savings. While you're managing your cattle operation, Your Beef Checkoff is helping millennials understand that beef is a smart food choice. Learn and share more at mybeefcheckoff.com, paid for by your checkoff dollar.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
It's the end of the fiscal year, and that means budget cuts and number crunching. Now's the time of the year you're evaluating your expenses, planning your budget, and finding ways to save money and increase efficiency to maximize profits. Dex Imaging understands and delivers. Call Dex Imaging today for a free document management evaluation. Cutting your office expenses is as easy as calling Dex Imaging. 352-266-0333. Start saving money today and increase your bottom line with Dex Imaging. Printers, copiers, and fax machines that increase office productivity and save you money. No one understands your bottom line better. Call Dex Imaging today, 352-266-0333, or check them out on the web at deximaging.com. That's DEXimaging.com. Or call 352-266-0333 for your free document management evaluation today.
5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for staying tuned to WOC at the Source. We're doing something very rare. We don't usually ask a guest to stay with us through the bottom of the hour or the top of the hour break. But Wesley Thomas is on the phone, and there's just something about his conversation with us that I thought we would benefit from having him stay with us, and he has agreed to, so I'm so grateful for that. He's up in New York. What did he say? He was in Staten Island right now?
Yes, he
Staten
did.
Island? I miss New York. I got to get back. You know, we have something in common, Wesley. My family was living in the Bronx when I was born. I say it that way because I don't remember it. We moved to Long Island before before my eyes opened up or something. But Wesley was born in the Bronx. I was christened in the Bronx, and I'm going to bring a plate back to the church I was christened in one of these days. It'll be 60 years later, but I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Wesley, I wanted to ask you something. Or let me start with telling you something. We had a vet in here once, and he was a veteran of the Korean War, and he had PTSD and didn't know it. And his wife and him were watching something on TV, and they were watching something on PTSD, and she said to him, "That sounds like you. That sounds like they're talking about you." And so they went to therapy. I think she went also.
Yes.
Even though she wasn't a veteran, but
she did.
They both went to the treatments, and it sounds like you went through this as well. And they came on the air to tell us that he was completely changed after the therapy for the better. The therapy really helped him out. He didn't realize what his wife was putting up with, to put it, I guess, in a nice way. But she stayed with him. She stayed with him throughout all the time. I guess he wasn't the nicest guy to live with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the PTSD was the real reason. And when they went through the therapy, I don't know if it fixed everything, but they were on the air to say that it really made a big difference. So did you go through that same experience?
I most certainly did. I've been through 2 marriages and 2 divorces, and a suicide attempt in 1988.
Oh.
And that was why I got any help. I didn't get any help until 2000 because I didn't know I needed any.
Isn't that something else? Wow. Well, I'm glad you weren't successful with the suicide attempt. So
that was with a butcher knife.
A butcher knife?
Yeah, I stabbed myself in the abdominals. I'm not ashamed to talk about it now. Before I was, but by me talking about it is letting other veterans know that there's help out there for them.
Do you know? I want to hear more about that. So you went. So when you went and somebody told you in Grand Central Terminal, you said a lady at a table said you qualify because of the letter of appreciation. That told her that you qualified for treatment. So how long after that did you go find treatment?
Not too long after that.
I wonder what she saw in you. She must have seen something.
Well, she probably did, but I thank God for me being at the right place at the right time, and her seeing that letter, because that letter used to hang on my wall in my apartment for so many years. In fact, I even walk around with a copy of it till this day, and I let other people read it. And they say, "Wow, you should frame this. You should do this and should do that with it." I want to send a copy of it to the president, but I just haven't had the nerve to send it, because the letter, I've carried it around for so many years, knowing that that's part of my life experience. And when I sent for my service military medical records, St. Louis National Personnel Records Archives, you know what's in there? My ribbons and awards, and my combat insurgencies and stuff like that. And all it mentions is letter of appreciation, but it doesn't explain what I did and what I received it for.
Wow. Is it okay to read it to us? Can you read the letter to us?
If I can put my hands on it's basically. Oh yeah. Well, it's part of my about the author. Okay, let's see. On April 22nd, 1967, at that time I was a Corporal E4. I was a Corporal E4 when I received this letter, but I was an E3 during that event. On April 22nd, 1967, Corporal W. Thomas received a letter of appreciation from Commanding General L.B. Robertshaw for serving as a member of the 1st Marine Aircraft Wing's Contingency Reaction Force. The force had responded immediately on 24 December 1966 to an airplane crash in a populated village in the Ho Van District, Quang Nang Province, Republic of Vietnam. 120 Vietnamese nationals were killed and 20 wounded. The force provided assistance to the survivors and extinguished the blaze during conditions involving great individual risk. The letter was awarded for professionalism, devotion to duty, and courage. Mr. Thomas received his sergeant promotion while still in Vietnam in 1969. He was dishonorably discharged as a Sergeant E5, and then from there in 1975, he joined the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve 6th Communication Battalion, Brooklyn Navy Yard, New York, until 1977. His military awards are the following: Presidential Unit Citation, Navy Unit Commendation, Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Vietnam Service Medal with 3 Bronze Stars, Vietnam Campaign Medal with the 60s device. Now, as far as the Presidential Unit Citation and the Navy Unit Commendation, I didn't know anything about any of those because they weren't entered on my DD-214 in 1969. They were entered in sometime in the 1980s. I found out about it around 2009.
Wow.
And that's because I requested additional ribbons and awards, and when they sent it back, they sent me an addendum attachment, DD-214, which supersedes my DD-214.
It's just very sad that when you had your suicide attempt, that nobody there that helped you recover from that could see the signs.
Okay, I don't know if you could hear you. Could you hear Robin Westley? Okay.
Yes, I can hear.
My
mother knew I had signs when I came home.
But she probably was. She was at her wit's end. She didn't know what to do.
No, because she was worried and concerned because we lost. I lost so many childhood friends that I grew up with and went to high school with. In fact, I was just with one last night because his cousin passed away, and I just found out. And I went to the wake and the funeral last night, and he was there, and we actually served together in Vieques, Puerto Rico, 1966. And in Vietnam, because he came after I did, and we was in the same unit. I don't know if he went through the same thing as far as I did, but I wrote a supporting letter documenting to the effect that we served in Vietnam together during that time period, so that he could file his VA claim.
Wow.
Gosh.
Wow. So let's go back to the treatment for PTSD, because I want to ask you, since you wrote a book, if writing was somehow a way of dealing with it, because sometimes they say if you talk to somebody about something that's really on your mind, but how do you talk that much? Yeah, and maybe when you're writing it, it releases something. Did that happen for you?
Yes, writing it releases something, because as I was writing it, even though it's fictional, true to life, it could have been me. I started feeling these things. associated with what I've written, and it's not only just affects like I said, it doesn't just affect the veteran; it affects the family and relationship.
Right.
And it doesn't go away. I can be laying in my bed, sleep at night, and all of a sudden, in my subconscious mind, here it comes.
Oh.
So the effects of war, it's not going to go away. It's part of your life.
You
can be on medication, you can go to therapy, you can go to all kinds of treatments, but in that brain center somewhere in the back, it's there and it's going to come back.
What were the what kind of therapeutic techniques were used? Was it a lot of talking? What did the doctors do with you that helped you?
You go to they have different. Well, back then I don't know what it's like now. They have group therapy. I couldn't deal with a group therapy. I had to do individual.
Okay.
Because I was there for me. I wasn't there to hear other people's trauma stories.
Right.
Because everybody's story is different. Everybody that goes to therapy, they have different. Their experiences are different. And when I was in a group setting, some veterans that came to Vietnam after me, their outlook was very different than mine, because I was there during the early stages. They come during the late stages, and it's like, how'd you do this? This is what happened.
Right.
I'm not. I can't cope with hearing that stuff coming from other folks.
Wesley, we have a group in Ocala. You're speaking to a town in Florida called Ocala, in case you didn't know. And there's a group here called Vets Helping Vets. It's veterans who have gotten together with other veterans to help each other because, quite frankly, the VA wasn't doing it. Now, the VA is, I guess, trying to improve. And by the way, I don't know if you saw this thing Donald Trump said. He wants the profits that CNN makes from the next debate to be given to the veterans groups. I don't know if you heard that or not. Whether they'll do it or not, I don't know. But anyway, the question I have for you is: do you have a group up in New York that has similar to the one here, where the vets get together and they help other vets in need?
Oh, there's a bunch of groups up there. I learned my skills from an organization called Veterans Quality of Life. VQLAN.
Okay.
The CEO founder, his name is Barry Campbell.
Oh, excellent. So you do have some support groups up there. Do you still go to the groups like that? I mean, do you still participate in them?
I still participate, but I participate from the street.
What do you mean?
In other words, when I walk around, I wear something with Vietnam veteran on it. I meet a vet. And I'll ask them if they're taking advantage of the VA services and whatnot, and then they commence to tell me what they are dealing with and what they are going through, and I provide them information on. I walk around with stuff.
Have you influenced anybody else to go get treatment for PTSD?
Oh, a multitude. My wife can contest to that.
Oh, wow.
How to start a VA claim.
So
I put that together myself because my wife got tired of me standing there talking to a vet for about 15-20 minutes and writing it out on a piece of paper.
Well, that's good news. I mean, so I had a question, but I felt it was too personal, but I think you just asked it. So you are married right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And this marriage is going okay? This is your third one, you said, right?
Third and final, and I married my childhood sweetheart because we reconnected after 37 years. She thought I died in Vietnam. The last time we set eyes on each other was in 1965. We reconnected in 2002.
Oh, really?
So that really leads into the premise of your book then. Is that what you drew on for that premise?
Well, she was my editor.
Oh, but I mean, is she Zira and you're William? No.
Oh, no, those are just characters. She knows about the PTSD because her former husband was a veteran, and she has relatives that were veterans. World War II.
Right.
Montauk Point Marine, because back then they had discrimination, segregation during World War II, and this person, her uncle fought on Iwo Jima.
Oh, okay.
But to this day, he'll only talk to me as another Marine. He's up there in his 80s, and he does not feel that he needs any help.
But that is more comforting, though, to the veterans that you're helping, is because, to me, they more readily would speak with someone who has actually gone through it and experienced it than a psychiatrist who might be 40 years their junior.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like that. It is like that. I reconnected with about 6 of my Marine Corps veteran friends that I served in Vietnam with. In fact, I just visited a couple of them this past summer. One is a recluse, even though he has health-related issues associated with Agent Orange. He feels that he doesn't need it because he's retired and he's getting, his other, pension and Social Security and whatnot. I got another one who, retired. Well, he left Nam before I did. He didn't know anything about it until I went down there, until I called him. And I told him I'm coming to see him, and I went to visit him in Maryland, and I provided him information. He called me back and said, "Wes, I already put my stuff in." I said, "Well, wait, why'd you put it in? Why didn't you get back to me? Because I want to make sure you have the right stuff."
Wow, you're a champion.
Oh, yes.
Wesley, you mentioned earlier that you wanted to send the president something regarding the letter of appreciation. I think you should do that.
Yeah, I think about it all the time. Even me mentioning it, as the author of my book, I'm saying to myself, like, nobody really knows what I did.
No, and you're not alone. And you're doing this interview right now, and of course it's on the radio here in Ocala. But by 2:00 this afternoon, it'll be up on the internet, and we can tag it so that other people will find it, and maybe somebody can share it. It's maybe somebody who can get it to the president, and they can get a hold of you. So have you had? What I wanted to ask you: do young people today respect your role as a veteran more than the young people did when you were also young?
Young people today have a lot of respect for me because they have a family member that is now serving in the military. They'll come over. I can go to Golden Corral or something like that, and the child will come over and say, "Thank you, sir, for your service." Because I'm wearing my Vietnam veterans, we call it cover, not a hat.
Right.
And even my wife even tells folks, you really don't know how you made my husband feel. This is one year we were down in Washington D.C. at the at night, and I was looking at the Vietnam Veterans War Memorial.
Yeah.
And this person came over to me and he thanked me for my service. And he went back and he spoke to my wife, and my wife said, "Yeah, well, he was there, and you don't know how it touched him."
I want to ask you, this is a super personal question, but I also went to the Vietnam Memorial Wall, and it's very reflective. You can see your own face in there. When you went to that wall, did you see your own face and think to yourself, "Thank God I'm seeing my face and not my name"?
No, I was saying to myself, that could have been me, because when I went to that wall, I went to see names of people that I served with.
Yeah.
And the first time I knew about the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall was when they had that portable that they traveled around the country.
Right.
I think this is before they unveiled, the granite one in Washington D.C. And when I went and I looked through that directory, and I saw names of people that I knew.
Oh,
I was deeply emotional.
I bet it was. I think we can do, all of us, is stand up and salute you. It's probably the best thing we can do. There's no way we'll ever be able to pay you back for what you've given to us. Wesley Thomas, you're a hero, and you're an author, and maybe we can help you out a little bit by buying your book. Can we just take another break, and then we'll be right back. When we come back, we'll have about 6 minutes left to chat with you. So we'll just take another little break and be right back and continue our conversation with Wesley Thomas. And we'll give the listeners information so that they can get the book. It's called A Hard Decision. And also share this interview.
Yes.
Wesley's not on camera. He's on the phone. That's why you don't see him on the picture here. But we'll take a little break and continue with our conversation with Wesley Thomas when we come back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny today with a shower or thunderstorm in spots this afternoon. The high today 89 to 93. Partly cloudy tonight, though 73 to 77. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm around, mainly during the afternoon hours over the interior. The high tomorrow 88 to 92. And for Saturday, intervals of clouds and sun along with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. The high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
24 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We've got 6 minutes left. Westley Thomas is on the phone. He is really touching all of our hearts. He's written a book. It's called A Hard Decision, and we haven't really talked about the book a whole lot, but I think you will like it. It's a story of two characters that Westley created, named William and Zara. They were childhood sweethearts, similar to the relationship he's now in with his current wife, and they got married after high school, which I guess that's different than their story. William was off to fight in Vietnam in service to his country that asked thousands of young men to give up their lifestyles to become soldiers. Like so many other families, William and Zara's lives were uprooted and changed forever. The book is called A Hard Decision by Westley Thomas, and Westley spells his first name Westley, and we'll find out how you can get the book. Just before we wrap it up, I want to make sure we get that information out. Tomorrow, September 11th, you will be having a lot of radio shows and TV shows that will be reminding you of what happened September 11, 2001. What happened after that date was a lot of young men and young women answered the call of duty. Nobody was drafted, if you remember. It was completely volunteer. Everybody serving right now is a volunteer. If you go to Germany right now, those people are living free because of Allied soldiers, and especially the American soldiers.
Yes.
If you go to France right now, they're free because of what these American soldiers did in World War II. If you go to South Korea, those people live free because of what our Korean War vets were able to do. If you go to Vietnam, you see their country is a much better place now because of what the Vietnam vets did and the American vets did. Westley Thomas is one of them, and as we all know, our Vietnam vets, including Joe Martone, who works here and is one of the owners of the station. Wesley is a Vietnam vet, and so I mean, you guys had nobody appreciating what you did, with maybe the exception of family members.
That's true.
So it's about time we change all of that, and I think we have. I think the country has changed for the better in that regard.
Yes, because there's a lot of things open now for veterans.
And it sounds like you're helping out your fellow veterans. And if there one message you could get out there to a vet, what would it be?
Well, I'd like to use a quote from my book.
Okay.
Life is like two ships passing on the ocean in opposite directions. It is the same with people. Unless we open up a line of communication, you will never know how many lives you can change and touch for the betterment of mankind. It is a humanitarian thing to do, and that's why I do what I do.
Wow. Is that the end of the book? Is that the last?
No, that's one of the passages in the book.
Oh, wow. So
my book is at.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My book is in some of the military libraries. I just got a letter the other day from Langley Air Force Base.
Okay.
It says, "Dear Mr. Thomas, it was a pleasure meeting you and your lovely wife when you visited Bateman Library. On behalf of the Airmen stationed at Joint Base Langley, Eustis, thank you for generosity donating a copy of your book, A Hard Decision, for inclusion in our collection. Your donation helps to enrich our primarily Air Force collection with the experiences of a member of one of our sister services. We are honored by your gift and grateful for your service." And then it has their signature.
Wow.
So I have it in the... I have it in different military base libraries: Quantico, Camp Lejeune, Barris Island, Marine Corps Air Station, Buford, Fort Bragg. So I have these letters and stuff that I received from these places that I had it donated it to.
Nobody can write a book about the Vietnam War better than a Vietnam War veteran. I'm anxious to read the book myself. I don't think we got a copy, right?
Right.
We did not get a copy, but we will. And don't send us a free one. We want to buy one because everything helps. Can I go get it on Amazon?
You can get it on, Author House is my publisher. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. If you Google my name and put in a hard decision, you'll even see some of the reviews and stuff like that come up.
Okay, Westley Thomas, Westley Thomas. Westley, again, we thank you for being on the air with us. We thank you for your service. We stand and salute you, sir. Thank you for what you've done, and please stay safe and keep. If you're ever in Central Florida, if you're ever here in Ocala, if you're visiting Disney or something, stop in, especially on a Thursday. Be part of the Veterans Show. They would love you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Do you have children?
Yeah, I have one daughter.
One daughter. Where does she live? Up there?
She lives in Staten Island also.
Oh, okay. All right.
And she knows what her daddy went through.
I bet she does.
Did she read the book?
She hasn't read the book yet. I said, well, I guess you're going to read it after I pass on.
Oh, no. Tell her to read it now.
Doesn't want to.
But the thing is, she knows what you went through. That's the important part.
She knows what I went through. Not only that, when she was 12 or 13 years old, I wrote her a letter. Letting her know how much I loved her and how much I cared for her. And Daddy will always be in your heart. And then after I mailed that letter, that's when I made my suicide attempt. And she wasn't living with me at the time. She was with her mother. And her mother told her, there's something wrong with your father. And then the next thing that she knew, I was laying up in the hospital. Being treated for my traumatic experience.
The message to every vet: if you have gone through anything that might be PTSD, please go get help. It's there. Westley Thomas, thank you for everything. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Baltimore bracing for the possibility of more violence on day 2 of pretrial hearings in the Freddie Gray case. 6 city police officers charged in his arrest and death.
The judge is considering a change of venue motion. The defense claiming it's impossible to seat a fair jury in Baltimore because of extensive media coverage the case has generated. The hearing comes a day after the city approved a $6.4 million settlement for the family of Freddie Gray. Baltimore's police union calls it obscene.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. There are now new federal food and safety rules out today after deadly outbreaks linked to ice cream, caramel apples, and other foods. And terror-related arrests in Britain hitting a record high.
35 of the suspects were women. That's another record. 8 were children. British officials saying this number tends to fluctuate, spiking after events like 9/11 and other major attacks.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen. Fox News. We report. You decide.
Right now at the Home Depot, save 20% when you buy 1 or more pallets of in-stock GAF shingles. So, let's raise the roof and lower the cost with bulk pricing on top-of-the-line GAF shingles, including Timberline, America's favorite shingle. This is worth shouting from the rooftops. Let's do this. Save 20% on 1 or more pallets of in-stock GAF shingles at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through September 30th, U.S. only. See store for details.
I'm a pair of designer shoes so expensive my owner had to give up half decaf skim vanilla lattes just to afford me. So you can imagine my terror when a pipe burst and the apartment started flooding. There I was, trapped in the closet, water rushing all around me. But what was I to do? I'm a 6-inch stiletto. It's not like I can run.
Your stuff can't protect itself. That's why the Geico Insurance Agency helps make it easy to switch and save on renter's insurance. Renter's insurance will cover personal property loss or damage as well as provide liability protection. Visit geico.com today.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Your weekends are getting a little retool.
Swear to God, not making a joke.
Check this out. New shows? Check. Some new talent? Check. Let's welcome